What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I doing?
So what is mindfulness? How does it help me? And how do I practice it? If those are your questions, stick around because I have the answers for you. So let's go ahead and jump in. If you don't know me yet, my name is Debbie from Haven Inspired. This channel is all things self-care and self-help with a few laughs in between. So make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, notifications button, all that jazz if you want more updates on meditations and just stuff about self-care. I'm definitely here to help. Today is all about mindfulness and how it works, how to practice it. So the biggest misconception I normally or typically see when it comes to mindfulness is that it automatically means meditation. Not true. Okay? Meditation is just one of many tools to use to help practice mindfulness. But the first thing to remember is that mindfulness equals awareness. Awareness of your mind, body, and spirit, whether you're listening to it or not, if you're ignoring it. Awareness of your actions, how you react to things, your patterns, your habits. Awareness of what's happening around you, your actions towards your environment, the people that are in your life and how they impact you. Awareness of your emotions and whether if you're handling those emotions well or not so well. Your awareness of your headspace, your mental habits, your sleep patterns, everything. Also just operating in the present, whether you are operating in the present or if you're just on autopilot. Those are all things that can impact mindfulness and also things that we really need to be aware of. So mindfulness, awareness. And then also too, whether you're living in the past, present, or future. We're typically living in one of those three, not necessarily one all in the same, if that makes sense. So just being aware of that or diving into presence and not living so much in the future or in the past. It means consciousness of oneself. And when it comes to being more mindful, it just really means to take these tools to help aid you in your thoughts, mind, body, and environment, and being present in all of those areas. I know that can probably sound confusing, but we're going to break it down in just 3 key steps in practicing mindfulness. The first thing you do have to understand is that mindfulness is definitely not a sprint. It's 100% a long distance run. You have to make a consistent conscious effort to be mindful. And the way that you do that is by making mindfulness a lifestyle and mastering the art of awareness and noticing. Being present in the moment is very important, but easier said than done. You have to be aware of what you're thinking, what's happening when you're thinking those things, and just really be in tune with yourself to truly understand who you are and your emotions. It gives us insight to mental habits, your thought patterns, past traumas and how they affect you, and not just how they affect you, but how they affect your reactions to things and reactions to your environment. It helps us to explore what's beneath those thought patterns, what's beneath the surface, especially if you're dealing with really strong and tough emotions a lot. Consistently angry, or you're consistently sad, you find yourself depressed a lot, you have extreme anxiety, but it helps us really understand why those things are the way that they are, and then allows us to invoke change. So if it's something that is really impacting your life, that it's hard or tough really getting through life this way, it helps us to invoke that change because now we're aware. The solutions to challenges begins with the act of noticing and really stepping back to notice our own behavior. It truly takes commitment and repetition to stop ourselves mid-action, to get awareness of what's happening within. So in those moments where emotions are high, really making sure to take a step back and asking ourselves,
what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I doing?
Yeah, very simple, but really important when it comes to being aware of
those three things can really make you take a step back and observe your emotions objectively instead of subjectively. Number 2, pay attention to your heart. You can use formal and informal exercises to do so, but really paying attention to your heart and actively listening to your heart, your soul, your mind, your body is really important when it comes to mindfulness. You can do this in several different ways. I'm a journaler. I love to journal. So definitely you could use that to try to make sure that you're really listening to yourself. Practicing gratitude is another way. Meditation is also a big way, and we do have meditation videos on this channel, so make sure to check them out. I'm gonna put a link somewhere around here. But here's a detailed list. I already mentioned journaling, gratitude, of course, prayers in there, and then meditation, but also just making sure to educate yourself. That's where therapy comes in, or just educating yourself on your own, just doing your own research. Slowing down is very important as well. I've actually started getting into like grounding and float therapy. These are just 2 new things that I've just been looking into just to see if it's something that I like. Also spending time in nature and getting away from technology in general. But most of all, listening to your body. Listening to your body when it's telling you that it's at capacity. I just recently got to like a tipping point a couple of weeks ago, and I really had to take the time to listen to my body. And really understand that, hey Deb, like you're at capacity, you need a break, okay? So really like listening to your body, making sure that you understand that you are not Superman, you are not Superwoman, and that you need a break. I just recently went on vacation, so it was definitely a big boost for me. I went to Jamaica. My girl saw that sis was down and was like, come with me, let's celebrate our birthdays and get out. And I'm so glad I did. Even with COVID, everything still felt okay and safe. So of course I had some mindfulness R&R, but I played a little too, you know. Yep, cute. Okay, enough of that. Okay, so number 3, practicing acceptance in a judgment-free zone. Self-criticism is tough, and to a certain extent it is needed to help better ourselves and to just realize where we are in that moment. But it also at a certain point can turn into just chaos in your mind, of mind racing, of judgment on a consistent basis. Now don't get me wrong, you definitely want to make sure that you're staying on top of yourself and the things that you need to do and handle. If you know that you're out of pocket, then you out of pocket. Like don't just, you know, throw that to the side. When it comes to certain areas, there has to be a point where you have to minimize the self-criticism and enhance yourself with self-compassion, self-love, and really love on yourself, especially when you're going through these crazy moments of chaotic emotions. And then also just making sure to accept the reality that you're in. If you find yourself in certain situations, I feel like a lot of times our first or initial reaction is to run from it, to deny it, ideally just forget it even happened. But in essence, those things and those situations, those emotions are there, they are valid, and they happened. So taking the moment to really accept you know, the things that are happening, the environments that we're in, not accepting them in a way of I condone it or this is the best thing for me, because that's not what I mean. Your environment right now may not be the best thing for you, but accepting where you are in that moment and appreciating where you are in that moment in order to move forward or to invoke change is important. For instance, for me, I went through a divorce in 2018. So I could ideally run from that, act like it's not happening, completely be in denial. I could do that, or I could accept what's happening. I could accept my emotions surrounding what was happening. And then once I do that, I'm able to figure out a way to move forward and to progress and be better. So without that first step of accepting and realizing that that's what's happening, and not getting myself into a pity party of self-criticism, but really making sure that, okay, I'm aware that this is happening. I don't like it. I don't like where I am right now, but this is what I'm going to do to progress and move forward. That's the difference. I feel like a lot of people would get in those types of situations and just like, you know, get in their turtle shell and just hide and crawl and try to avoid it. But I mean, at the end of the day, at a certain time, you're going to have to face it. If you're not going to face it, then you're going to spend your life running away from it. So really taking the time for acceptance, a judgment-free zone, self-compassion, self-love is really where you want to be. Take the time to accept your emotions and feelings, situations, and the people around you for who and what they are, whether that's good or bad. If you have people around you that are toxic, then accept them for who they are and remove them from your life, period. If you have people that are in your life that are positive, then accept them for who they are and embrace them because you want that positivity in your life. The other key to acceptance, especially when it comes to your feelings or your emotions, is to accept your feelings and emotions without judgment. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to your emotions, those are valid emotions in that moment. It's just a matter of exploring why you feel that way, and then also disciplining yourself and your reactions to those emotions. Acceptance is simply letting go of resisting life's truths. A lot of our emotional issues in life has to do with resistance. Resisting what's happening, resisting how we're feeling, and not allowing ourselves to feel the way that we feel, not allowing ourselves to process the emotions effectively. The way that you process emotions are to allow yourself to feel them. If you're sad about something, don't beat yourself up for being sad. Like, that's a valid emotion. If you're angry about something, don't beat yourself up for being angry. That's a valid emotion and a valid response. It's just how you deal with that. How you physically deal with that is what's most important. So yeah, guys, I hope this is really helpful. So remember, mindfulness is not a sprint, but a long distance run. Make it a lifestyle. Pay attention to your heart and practice acceptance without judgment. And I'm going to leave you with this quote. Mindfulness is a way of befriending ourselves and our experience. All right, y'all, so that's it. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, notifications button if you want more updates on anything self-care, self-help, and then also too, if you are into meditations, I have a gang of them things, so go ahead and jump in and do some meditations. Also, if you love this t-shirt, you can check it out on our website at haveninspiredstyle.com for purchase. I will drop the link below. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.